I'm gonna be flying that right there. So I'm so excited.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Agent up from
All right, I have control. You have the push a little forward.
First time to fly a helicopter. Not fly in, but fly. Be the pilot. First time. Let's go.
All right, Dan, so first thing we're going to do is we get our pre-flight started up, finished. So for us, we have a couple of different these checklists. Yeah, I think because today we're working on straight level and then climbs and turns, acceleration, deceleration, and then just different types of like steepness in our turns. And I think he's going to probably do really well at that. Most of my fixed wing guys do that. It's when we come back to the ground, we start working on hovering. I think that's when he's going to start learning how to fly a helicopter at that point and realize it's a completely different beast. So I think most of the first part of this lesson should be pretty good, easy to catch on to. After that, we'll see what happens, but it should be pretty fun. Actually, when I first started as an instructor, all of my very first students were all add-ons. And then I slowly got into more initials, and that was just the type of student load we had at that time. So I've taught probably about 40% add-ons, 60% initials at this point. So not uncommon for us for sure. Okay. All right, starting at the top. Airworthiness certificate, registration, POH, weight and balance. So we got airworthiness, registration here, POH, and weight and balance is within the POH. So,
I feel like I need to be standing on brakes, but...
So I'm here, and so you can see what I'm doing with my feet. I just put it between the pedals. You can just pinch it like that. You can use your left foot, it'll probably be more comfortable. Clear.
So I'll have you rest your hand on the throttle. We're going to bring it up to 70 to 75%, so I'm going to roll up a little bit.
On the right base, taxiway Bravo, clear to land.
Clutch light comes on. Yep. That'll be on and off throughout this startup, because what that tells us is that the clutch is actuating.
Oh, right.
Now, which direction? Well, the clutch switch is set to engage, so we only know when the light's on right now, it's only engaging. And it's because it's rubber belts. As they warm up, they're going to stretch. Next, we're going to do our spread clutch check. So we talked about the spread clutch in the back. We're going to do the check for that. So what we're going to do is bring the throttle up.
Company's on the upwind, and there's a helicopter.
We want to get that one.
Okay, Bravo, making a full stop.
There you go.
All right,
so we're going to came up to 80%, and then we're just going to close the throttle very quickly. So we're going to come up to 80, and then wrist towards you. So in 3, 2, 1, go and close it. Feel the needle splits. That's what we're checking for. If the needles did not split, then we know our spread clutch is not working correctly.
So if the needle stayed the same,
so they should stay the same on the way up. On the way down, when you close the throttle, so wrist towards you, then you should see the engine one drop, and the rotor one is going to lag slowly behind it.
Okay.
Next, we're going to see our doors are closed, which we don't have any, so our imaginary door locked for us. Cyclic and friction, we're going to take off, and I'll have you stow this for me. So now we're going to get ready into a state to fly, so we're going to go up to flight RPM, so we'll put both feet on the pedals, we'll have our hand on the collective, hand on the cyclic, just like we're normal, and we're going to reach forward, and we're going to undo the cyclic friction, make sure it's off all the way, same thing with the collective. We're going to come forward, and now what you'll do is you'll increase the throttle to 80%, at 80% the governor will take over, and it'll start bringing it up for you, so you can relax your grip.
Oh, I see it.
And it does that all for you. We're going to center this out, and we're going to wait for that clutch light to go out before we do the last part of our checks, which is the low rotor warning system. So what we're going to do to activate the low rotor warning system, the collective needs to be raised, and it's just a little bit. So we're going to come up about right there, and then we're going to roll the throttle off nice and slow at 97%. Light horn. We're going to lower the collective all the way, relax our grip on the throttle, let the governor take it back up. And that was our last check. So we're ready to go.
All right.
So I'm going to go and pick us up.
Okay, you got the controls.
I have all controls, and we're going to go taxi over here, get a call out.
Stage 1 just past the 6 inbound for taxiway.
Raise into the collective. So what you can feel me doing, putting a little bit of left pedal already. And that's to counteract that torque, because I know it's going to happen. I'm also bracing a little bit left on the cyclic, because I know that translating tendency is going to push me to the right. We're just going to come right up.
All right, make straight in for taxiway Bravo, and we'll be looking out for our company traffic and fixed wing in the pattern. Stage 1.
Clearing to my left, I'm about to taxi to the left.
Cherokee 2202 Whiskey, Meacham Tower, are you in frequency? Cherokee 6281 Charlie, Meacham Tower, are you in frequency?
Got some of our other helicopters out here, Hank. So we're going to taxi up.
A lot more left pedal than I thought you would need.
Yep.
Okay.
Especially right now, while we're a little bit heavier with fuel as well, we require more blade pitch. That's going to be more torque on the system. Meacham Tower, Sage 5 on taxiway hotel with information golf like a northwest departure.
Sage 5, Meacham Tower, taxi lane hotel departure will be at your own risk. Make a left downwind departure, and wind is 110 at 9er.
Alright, departing on risk, left downwind to the northwest for Sage 5. Alright, before we go, we're going to look at our gauges, make sure our pre-text. So needles are married in the green. We have our 3 engine gauges in the green. Carb heat is a little low, so all I'll have you do is raise up that carb heat for me. We'll unlock it and pull it up just a little bit. Okay. And as long as we're out of the yellow. And then, so we've already been cleared to take off, so unlike an airplane, we don't need to get off a runway. So what I'm going to do is just going to point into the wind. And we're going to start our takeoff roll.
Charlie, enter right down runway 17.
A little forward on the Cyclic. Let that nose keep coming. We're going to slowly accelerate 3 TL.
Charlie,
Throw that nose balloon up. I'm going to push forward. Continue adding the power. Nice little takeoff roll, a little bit of right pedal to help. At 45 knots, I'll then rotate up.
Cherokee 2202.
Looking at 40 knots, 45, there it is. A little aft on the Cyclic, let the nose come up, bring in that power.
744 Lima, Meacham Tower. What was your departure request?
C4 northwest bound.
And I'm going to run parallel to the runway here so we don't cross the center line.
Right turn approved to the northwest, runway 16, clear for takeoff.
Alright, we're going to rotate forward a little bit with a little tiny pressure forward on the Cyclic, just try to get that 60 knot climb out.
61, stage ramp, with the 8S, looking for northwest departure.
1,000 feet here, so we're 300 feet AGL. I'm going to start my turn for a left downwind, so I'm looking at my left, clear to the left.
Hotel,
turn in
all
here.
of them on a left downwind departure. Departure will be at your own risk from stage ramp, wind 110 at 10.
Alright, departure, own risk, follow with company, the left downwind, stage 1.
Alright, Dan, you're flying. How you feeling?
Doing great. Love it.
Sweet.
Cherokee 2202,
Right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you these pedals. So big thing we're looking at is our trim strings in the front, right?
Right.
So make sure those are straight up and down, and then our pedals, make sure that those are in. So if I add left pedal, so the trim string's kind of left, you feel a little bit of air through your door.
Right.
Cherokee 81 Charlie.
A little bit to the right.
Frequency 120.9er.
Yeah, go off to the side as well. So we want it to be nice and neutral here.
Okay.
42 in stage 1, 20.9.
20.9, stage 2.
Alright, so you have pedals?
Alright, the controls.
Or you have the pedals on.
Oh, pedals.
Yep. Alright, so just keep us nice and steady here.
Cherokee 02 Whiskey, Meacham Tower, enter right downwind runway 17.
And I want you to do is press a little bit of left pedal, or get us out of trim to the left.
Out of trim to the left.
Yes, sir. Alright, there you go, a little more. There you go, feels kind of comfortable, right?
Yeah.
Just push it back, it's neutralized.
137 uniform, change to my frequency 120.9.
I'll go right pedal as well. So this is not how we want to fly. We'll go neutralize it. Trim string centered up, perfect. Alright, so with the collective, we can see this is going to be what our kind of increases and decreases the blades, giving us a little bit of a rise and a little bit of drop. So we're going to correlate that to is manifold pressure. So if I raise the collective up, let's go to 21 inches manifold pressure. Feel a little heavy in your seat. And we can see the VSI in the top left gauge right there is starting to show us a little bit of a climb. And I like what I felt there too, a little bit of that left pedal. Okay? So same thing, if I drop the collective, just nice and slowly, just a tiny bit of right pedal.
Yeah.
Not as much as left though.
No.
Going at 16, standby.
And most of that is due to the fact that that tail, the empennage on it, is what's keeping us in trim. If we start to decrease it, now it's not strong enough to manage the torque that we have.
Clear, touch and go, number 2.
So if I want to accelerate, I'm going to push forward and a little up. We're going to see the VSI stay nice and steady, but what that's doing is just vectoring our thrust more forward and a little bit more power to counteract that descent that we'd be feeling. Now I'm going to reach forward here. I'm going to put in Higgs frequency.
123.05.
That's the one. Higgs traffic. Helicopter Sage 5 about 4 miles to the southeast of the field. 1,600 will be transitioning to the west towards Eagle Mountain High School. Higgs traffic. So I'm going to give you pedals and collective now, so you have both.
I have pedals and collective.
You got them both. All right, what I want you to do is let's get us a little bit faster. So let's raise that collective up. I want you to go to about 21 inches, and I'm going to push a little forward on the Cyclic. There you go, and a little left pedal because we increased that collective. Perfect. All right, so we'll slow down now. So we're going to lower that collective a little bit.
Okay, to what? 19?
Let's go to 19 inches.
Okay.
Now let's drop it to 16 inches, so a little bit more lower, and then feel this nose kind of come up with a little bit of back cyclic. Now you got to add that right pedal as well. Perfect.
Traffic 28, final 3 full stop 8.
Now let's accelerate again, so up collective, to 21 inches.
6 traffic, Cessna 5243, 10 miles southwest inbound.
Perfect.
We'll enter left downwind. 3, 2.
All right, so I'm going to take all controls now.
You got all controls.
Got them all. So I'm going to pass you over the Cyclic. So what we're going to do is work on the Cyclic with this sight picture that we've got.
Okay.
Continue a little nose low, and we're going to stay on this right side of the high school here.
Okay.
All right, so you have Cyclic.
I have Cyclic.
So I'm going to start to loosen my control on it, and you're
Okay.
going to feel, get a little bit higher grip on that, just a little bit more control. Perfect. And you're going to feel it's going to almost like want to be pulling to the left on you.
Okay.
So you have Cyclic. There you go.
I have Cyclic.
Perfect. Now what I want us to do is we're going to fly kind of towards Copeland, but to the east side of it, towards that little water tower.
138 Lima Hotel, stage 26, 1 mile north of Eagle Mountain High School at 1,300. We're going to be proceeding back towards the Meacham. This will be our final call. Hicks. 500 feet, 1 mile to the south of the airfield.
Cool. All right, I'm going to give you all the controls now, Dan.
Okay.
So we got everything for you. So you have all controls?
I have all controls.
You have them all.
I have them.
All right, let's go ahead and raise that collective up to 21 inches of manifold pressure. You're going to feel the nose come up just a little bit as we raise that collective with it too. And I want you to go, let's climb us up to 1,500 feet. So we're a little low, so yeah, there you go, a little aft on the Cyclic. And once we get our 15, we'll kind of level back over where we were. Now we'll just lower that collective to about 20 inches. We like that power that we get for today. That's going to give us a nice about 70 knots depending on the attitude we've got set here. So that this kind of, for me, what I like to gauge is looking at my compass and where is that
That's
in reference
exactly
to the horizon.
how I did it.
Yeah.
Is I've been doing it according to the compass,
Yeah.
where it's for a sight picture.
It's a great
exactly
reference
what
point.
I did.
So for you, about how low is that compass from the horizon?
It's about
Cessna 5243,
2 inches.
west
Okay.
3,000 feet. Solid.
So for you, 2 inches will put you about, at this power setting, 75-ish knots.
Okay.
It could change just depending on what type of airspeed
Well,
we got.
I'm dropping a little bit, so I've raised collective a hair.
Perfect, yeah. And what I want you to do is let's climb us up to 1,800 feet, 1,800. So we'll add a little power, a little aft in the Cyclic, and a tiny bit of left pedal to help with that trim. There you go. Feeling that little bit of a temperature inversion up here. It's a little bit warmer. Nice, stable air. It's a great day to fly.
It is a great day to fly.
All right, let's go ahead and go up to 2,000 feet. So we'll climb up.
2,000 feet.
Add that power. Let's go to 22 inches. Let the nose come up with us. Tiny bit of left pedal. Then try not to let the helicopter drift off to the side as well. We're just going to keep that little left pressure and nice and steady with on the Cyclic.
2,000.
Nice, and we'll rotate forward as well. About 20 inches manifold pressure. Perfect. All right, over the cylinder, I want you to turn us to a heading of a 300.
Over the cylinder, 300.
We'll look to the left, make sure we're clear around. Good
Okay,
to me.
clear left. Okay, 300 left turn.
There you go, yeah. You're doing a good job kind of figuring out that pressure. Biggest thing for a lot of people is they put in too much.
Tail traffic, Archer Fest 524, left downwind for 180.
Okay, 300.
Awesome. All right, now let's go to 270, directly to the west.
Okay, clear left.
You are clear to the left, sir. Copeland traffic, helicopter stage 5. We're just headed westbound now, just to the north of the field, about to cross center line at 2,000 feet. Copeland traffic. All right, what I want you to do is we'll kind of make this a little bit fun, but working on our turns and climbs and stuff like that. I want you to turn left, and we're going to follow the west bank of the lake over here.
West bank.
Yep.
All right, here we go. And sight picture-wise on a turn, I keep it the same.
Yep. So we want to kind of think about trapping that compass where it was on the horizon and just dragging it across.
Okay.
We don't want it to drop. We don't want it to climb up because that's going to indicate same thing with the nose.
Understood.
Now on these turns though, we're going to have an increase in load factor depending on the steepness of the turn.
Right, so we may have to increase RPM.
Yeah, exactly. Well, RPM will stay the same. It's
sorry,
just raising the
manifold
collective
pressure.
a little bit. Yep.
Yeah. Manifold's good. Speed, is speed where we want it?
Like that, yep.
How much do you want me to follow this west bank all the way for this turn?
Yeah.
All right.
So we're going to work on a little bit tighter of a turn on here too.
Yeah. A little icy here. All right. Altitude's a little low, so I'm going to pull back a little bit. There we go. Sight picture's good. We're looking around. Clear right. Nobody's over there. All right, we're at 1,000, nose down a hair.
start that
manifold
nice
pressure down a little
tight
bit.
right turn here.
All right, here we go. Clear
in.
right.
We're going to raise that collective up a little bit so we don't descend. And see your nose is already dropping a tiny bit. So we're just going to come in a little aft.
Now my sight picture, the compass is over the horizon. But we want that, I guess, to be able to maintain her. All right, that's good to know.
Now we're going to come back to the left around.
Okay. Now we're coming up, collective down a little bit.
Yep. Perfect. Hey, so far so good. Feeling nice and comfortable.
Yeah, I'm still a little low, so get up. Aim small, miss small.
Exactly right.
All right, there we go. All right, I like that.
Now what I want you to do, let's keep our 2,000 feet. I want you to slow us down to 50 knots. What we're going to have to manage here is a little bit of down on the collective, aft cyclic, and then a tiny bit of right pedal, but I want to continue on this heading that we've got without trying to turn. So we're going to slow it down a little bit.
All right, so we're going to slow it down, so I'm going to bring this down and bring the collective up.
So down on the collective, cyclic towards you. Just like we're flaring. And a tiny bit of right pedal.
Yep, I feel that.
And we'll just hold this attitude, and that's going to continue to decelerate us. We're going for 50 knots.
All right. There's 50.
And let's hold 50. So now we're going to have to bring the collective up a little bit.
To keep, yeah, because it's starting to drop.
Yep. Now let's go back up to 70 knots. So what we're going to do is raise that collective a little forward on the cyclic. All right, what I want you to do is give me a tight right turn, 2,000 feet, and we're going to come back northbound on the lake now.
Turn, right turn?
Yes, tight right turn.
Okay, clear right. All right, tight right turn. Oh, a little high too. Well, we'll fix that on the turn.
Perfect. We'll just hold this right here as we're coming around.
Okay, still clear right. That sounds okay?
Yep, that popping?
Yeah.
That's just the blades flapping. That's the sound of a helicopter.
Okay. Got to get used to the sounds. I'm a little high, so I'm going to
orbiting the block.
bring the manifold down a little bit. What's our speed that we want?
We'll go back to 70.
Okay. In that case, I need to lower the nose, bring the collective up,
There you
and
go.
watch my pedal. Go.
Awesome. All right, let's head back to Meacham. Let's work on some hovering over there and some patterns.
Okay. I'm flying a helicopter.
Hey, you are. I'm all off of it, too.
I know, I love this.
That's awesome.
All right, 75, we're a little bit low, so I'm going to pull up just a hair.
I can tell you're an instrument pilot, because you care about that. I'll get all these like VFR initials, and to some students, a little low is 200 feet.
No, no, no. Aim small, miss small.
Yes, sir. That's good. What we're going to do here is we're going to actually go straight, we're going to see if we can land directly on Dos Equis, which is the old runway. We'll work on hovering just for a little bit, maybe like 5 or so minutes. It'll be real quick and dirty into it, and then we'll go back to land.
Number 2.
This is absolutely amazing.
Traffic 2 mile final to the parallel runway.
I've got the traffic inside.
Inside as well. So what we want to do is start slowing down a little aft cyclic and more on the down collective. So it seems kind of counterintuitive to bring the nose up.
We got clutch.
So the clutch light will be on, and so that's just saying the belt's adjusting. For us, our limit is going to be 10 seconds.
Okay.
So you're starting to drift a little bit to the right, so we'll keep that left pressure in. So on this approach, we're going to start slowing down a lot more than what we're used to, especially for fixed wing. So we're going to start, I'm going to be kind of giving a little bit more pressure on it, but you're still flying it.
I'm still flying.
So we're going to lower that collective a tiny bit more, add a little bit of aft cyclic, and we're
So
just
we're going to the X on the right.
Yes, we are.
Okay.
We're going to be landing to the left of the X rather, but still on Dos Equis.
We got a helicopter right here on Bravo.
Insight. So we're going to continue to slow down, so a little bit of right pedal as well. Aft on the cyclic, down on the collective, and we're just going to hold this deceleration here.
Gotcha.
A little bit of left pressure on the cyclic for me. I'm going to go and help out, and we're going to push this in as we're getting into our hover here. Raise in that collective, a little bit more left pressure, see how we keep drifting to the right. And a little down on the collective as well. Now as we're coming in, we're going to need a cushion, so we're going to start to raise that collective, a little bit of left pedal and forward cyclic, just to continue with that forward movement. And then slowly bring us into a hover here. A little bit down on the collective now, so we can get a little bit lower to the ground. And start coming up, a little bit of left pedal. A little forward cyclic.
Cherokee 4, Fox Tango, cross runway.
You have the controls?
I got them all.
What happened on that spin?
Runway 16.
So what that is as we raise the collective, we're not adding enough left pedal to counteract that
So I
torque.
got to be more aggressive on that.
We do.
Closer to the ground.
Yeah, you can kind of feel how much left I've got in it here.
A lot more than I was doing.
Exactly, yeah. So I have all controls here.
You have all controls.
I got them all, so you can relax your feet as well. So we're going to kind of come over in the middle of Dos Equis, get a little bit of space for Bravo.
Okay, so Dos Equis is this whole area.
Yep.
Okay.
Alright, so we're going to work on some hover stuff. So just like on the way out, we're going to start easy. We're going to do our pedals first. And so I'm going to give you the pedals here, and I want you to point our nose at the control tower to the right.
Alright,
So you have the pedals?
I have the pedals.
You got them all.
3-3 Whiskey, runway 17, clear to land.
Runway 17, clear to land. 3-3 Whiskey.
Think about small pressures. Instead of trying to move our whole leg, we're thinking about toes and calves. That's what we're looking to move.
Stage 42 on the go, taxi Bravo, right traffic.
Stage 42, Texter Bravo, clear for the option, traffic.
Alright, let's give me a left pedal turn to point at the antennas that are behind us.
What's that, Trev?
We're going to look to the left. We're going to see the antennas and continue adding that left pressure to keep the nose moving around. You're going to feel that wind's kind of keeping us from wanting to move. Yeah, we're going to have to push it in a little bit. Once we kind of break of that wind, we're going to have to start adding in the right. There you go. Now what we're going to do is add some right pedal. We're going to do a right pedal turn back to the control tower.
Right's easy.
The right, the torque's helping us, right?
Yeah, and the wind.
So what I want you to do now, so I have controls.
You have the controls.
I want you to, with your right foot, and just watching what I do, we're going to put it down on the ground like this, and you can relax your left foot for me. We can actually do pedal turns only with one pedal. So if I want to go left, I put in the left pedal. And so when we're doing our pedal turns, I don't want you to think about left and right, but more of increasing and decreasing the left pressure. So if I want to hold there, I just decrease the left pressure. Because it always wants to go to the right. So if I want to turn back to the right, I just take the left pressure off. And then put it back in once I get where I want.
Okay.
That's going to be way more controlled, because what we're not doing is we're not fighting against our feet. So if you're trying to push in right, but you're also kind of putting in left a little bit, it's get this real kind of snappy like that. That's a little bit harder to do. So I'm going to have you try that. So left foot only.
Left foot only, my rudder controls.
So your pedals, right?
Pedals.
So we're going to go left pedal all the way to the little antennas over here. And we have a little bit more fine control on it. There you go. Okay, now let's go to the right, back to the control tower. Perfect, there you go, Dan.
Yeah, that's actually a lot easier.
Yeah, so let's get that right foot back on.
Okay.
Now keeping in mind what we were just doing, let's do the same thing. So back to the antennas.
Cherokee 3-3 Whiskey, traffic on a 3-mile final for the parallel runways of Phenom Jet.
Get to this point with the wind, once the weather vane into it.
Exactly.
Alright, so here we are at the antennas.
And then back to the right towards the tower.
Okay.
Got them doing their autos over there too. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to give you collective and pedals now. So now you have the collective as well.
Collective,
So what you do is keep us pointed at the control tower.
okay.
And what I want you to do is keep us off the ground here about a foot. While the nose is still at the tower, I want you to raise us up to about 6 feet off the ground.
Okay.
What you're going to see is as we raise up, we need to add that left pedal, right?
Yeah. Alright.
Bring the power in a little bit, keeping that left pedal in. Now let's go and descend down to about a foot off the ground.
Alright, descending to a foot.
So there you go. Rather, instead of pushing down on the collective, just relax the pressure up.
Yeah.
Because it kind of wants to fall down on you anyways.
Alright, there's a foot.
Gotta get that left pedal in, can't forget about it.
Oh yeah.
There you go. Alright, let's get us just off the ground, a little bit of close to the ground. That's okay if the skid's gonna touch like that, that's what they're meant for. There you go, keeping that nose pointed there, same height off the ground, looks good, feels good. Alright, I have all controls now.
You have the controls.
I'm gonna give you the fun one now. So Cyclic.
Cyclic.
This is where this feels like a rodeo. So what we're looking for is nice small pressures on the Cyclic. So like you were talking about earlier, we're applying aim small, miss small as well. So the bigger the control input we put in with the Cyclic, the bigger we have to take out. So if we keep it small movements nice and steady, which you can kind of see right now, my hand's vibrating just because the Cyclic's moving, but if I were to just be real rock steady on the Cyclic, the only reason why the helicopter would be moving is because the wind's just pushing us around a little bit.
Okay.
So what most students will make a mistake on is they look at the movement of the helicopter and they make too big of a correction. So if we're moving to the right and they kind of put in a bunch of left, then they have to put in a lot of right to fix it, and then we're kind of everywhere.
Right.
We get in this thing called stirring the pot, where we're just behind the whole time.
Right traffic, short approach.
Stage 42, short approach.
Really what we're controlling is we're controlling the rotor blades above us, not the body of the helicopter. The body will follow the blades, kind of like that pendulum example we talked about in the classroom. And so what we're controlling is where the blades move, and the body will be a little bit behind and follow it. So if I put in left cyclic, we're going to see the body tilt, and then it moves. So we're going to left,
that guy.
then it comes. So instead of responding to the movement across the ground, respond to the tilt of the helicopter of what we need to do with the cyclic. So if I go left, I should already be adding in the right to neutralize it. And again, movement of the cyclic about the width of like a $half. So if I had a $half underneath my cyclic, I only want to think about that much of movement as far as we're going.
Okay, understood.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
So I'm going to give you the cyclic, and I'm going to slowly start taking some of the pressure off of it from me, and you're going to feel that again. Okay, so you have cyclic.
I have cyclic. Dang.
We're going to pick up a little bit. All right, you have cyclic.
Whiskey, 33 Whiskey, 33 Whiskey, cross runway 16 at Charlie, contact ground the other side.
Perfect.
Cross 16 at Charlie, contact ground the other side. 33 Whiskey. Thank you, have a good day.
Thank you, you as well. See ya.
See ya.
Starting to get it a little bit. Let's try to get back over the concrete over here. Also be a little left pedal. Gonna get us around, and we'll put in that forward cyclic. Kind of walking it in. Yeah, there we go. All right, so let's pick something out on the about 50, 75 feet in front of us. That's where I should be. So kind of looking at the other X that's sort of painted on the ground. That's going to be a good reference point. So we don't want to be looking too far till we don't have enough kind of movement to help us. But we also don't want to be too close. Our eyes are just pointed straight at the ground. So what I'm going to do is give you all the controls here. You have all controls?
I have all controls.
All right, you have them all. Let's keep the nose pointed this direction, same height above the ground. So let's look to get back over the concrete. That's going to actually help our hover out a little bit. All right, a little forward and up, a little bit of left to help as well. And pick us up a little bit higher, and you're back on the controls. Nice, Dan.
This is nice. I feel like I'm sucking.
No, this is great. First time. Again, we're kind of starting to see those little connections form in the brain, getting it a little bit smoother on the controls. Raise us up a little bit higher here. We're going to add some left pedal to help. And let's look to get back over the concrete. That's going to help your hover power as well.
MH 42 on the go to Saxbury Bravo right traffic. Miles to the northwest, inbound for north berm with golf.
Stage 42, Saxbury Bravo, clear for you.
All right, see if you can fix it.
The option is a short approach as well.
So that's not pulling too much power.
Stage 42.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Stage inbound from
All right, I have controls.
You have the
Push a little forward here.
Stage 21, we like to be the north.
Nice, there we go.
Stage 21, make approach straight in for the north.
All right, we're going to head back to the South T hangars.
Landing.
All right.
We'll call it good for this flight, and we'll head out later this afternoon.
All right, copy.
Okay.
Company straight in, north berm, own rest.
You've got the controls.
I got them all. Tower Stage 5 on Dos Equis. We'd like to reposition over the South T hangars direct. So one thing we'll kind of do later on more of the hover proficiency is a thing called a pirouette. So we'll pick a center line, and what we're going to do is we're going to taxi in that direction while doing a pedal turn.
Will do.
So
Oh, yeah.
as we're coming around here, continue with the movement in that direction, working with the pedal to turn around, falling over our center line.
Right.
And so this is a really good practice as far as keeping a nice steady state pedal turn, but also feeling that wind fighting against us, like holding us here.
Yeah.
And so we need to add a little bit more, but keeping the cyclic moving in the direction of the movement we're trying to go. Because if we don't keep it moving in that direction, we're going to kind of stalling our movement out and not continuing to go any further.
Stage 5, proceed direct to stage ramp. Landing will be at your own risk. Cross runway 16.
Direct to the stage ramp, landing on risk, crossing 16 for stage 5. is called an air taxi. So we're going to keep ourselves about like 40 feet off the ground and just moving about 40 knots all the way to our spot. And then we'll do a maneuver called a quick stop, but there's nothing quick about a quick stop. It's just a deceleration is all it is. We'll add this aft cyclic, right pedal down on the collective, keep the height off the ground, but just continue to decelerate us. As I start to sink, I'm going to add a little bit of left pedal, up collective, and forward cyclic. We're going to come in this kind of steep approach profile all the way into our spot. So for me, I'm aiming for the intersection of Hotel and Juliet. And we're just going to walk it all the way in. And do like a little helicopter drift in for our parking. Like a little bit of a show-off move. You can see our tail's clear to the right. Do have that guy, but he's not coming out. And we're just going to come on in like we're drifting. On our spot right here, just the other side of the grate. And we're going to come down nice and slow right over. Back on the ground. Collectives all the way down. Neutralize the pedals. Neutralize cyclic. We're going to roll the throttle off. Set it to 70-75%. Once we're there, we're going to reach forward, get frictions on. So cyclic friction is on here. Collective friction is on as well.
I'll get it.
Just pull it back. And then we'll grab that checklist out from under your seat or in front of it. All right, so what'd you think?
Exciting. I was hoping to be the best ever and just be able to instantly hover.
Yeah.
And I really thought I would be able to. You know, I'm Superman, but it was, there were several points I'm like, you got the controls, but I didn't. And I tried to stay and fight with it, but then at the end, you know, it was getting a little, when it gets aggressive on the turns, there's a fight or flight response inside.
For sure.
And not a flight or fight. But anyway, I could feel that, and I got to get past that.
Yep.
And then it'll be fine.
For sure.
But there were a lot of it was pretty easy. I got my sight pictures pretty quick.
Yep.
I felt like my straight and level, I was able to nail that. I'm okay on that. But yeah, the hover, the three things. I start to go right. The biggest thing is I'm using pedals when I need to do cyclic.
Yep.
So and that's a fixed wing thing.
Yeah. And so it's the getting used to what pedal needs to go in for which correction. One thing I thought you would struggle with, but you really didn't have a big deal with, was the cyclic, trying to turn it like a yoke.
Right.
Because I've had a lot of fixed wing guys who come in here and I'm like, all right, let's turn left, and they start doing this.
Right.
Which I feel just pushing in my lap, and I'm like, you're not doing anything because the cyclic's not moving.
Right.
So
I did okay on that.
Yeah, I did really well on that. So we'll go ahead. Now this is the real test to see if you'll be a good pilot or not in a helicopter. Is if you can get the rotor to stop directly ahead of us.
Oh, right.
Okay.
Well, see, I flew gyros, so I had to do that all the time. All right. So just pull it.
Yep. Just a nice like 10-15 pounds of pressure on it. Nothing too much more than that. Just kind of feathering it in nice and slow.
All right. Here's the ultimate test. Oh. No.
You got it. Yeah, let it come around. Oh, no, you put it at 90 degrees.
No, we're not done yet. Come on.
Oh, it's done.
No, okay.
Dan did a lot better than I thought. Some of the things we talked about was more of the cyclic control, so not using it like a yoke. He did really well with that.
Straight and level, I thought I picked it up pretty good. I was good with that.
Made a radio call good. I can see he's a good aviator.
But oh man, I really wanted to be the best ever at hovering, and I sucked.
In the hovering, honestly, not as bad as I thought.
I felt like I couldn't hold it there, and every part of me inside was wanting to scream, you got the controls, you got the controls.
For him to hold a hover for more than like 15 to 20 seconds, yeah, it's a little wobbly. That's crazy at sometimes, but for him just kind of stick through it and go was good.
But I fought that, and there is absolutely a fight or flight, but not flight as in flight. So I gotta work that out.
Definitely need some work on that. Confidence being built up when it comes to the hovering.
He says I did better than he thought on hovering, but man, that was the thing. Wow, flying a helicopter for the first time, what an incredible time. Thank you, Helicopter Institute. If you guys out there want to get your helicopter certificate, check them out, helicopterinstitute.com. Also, I want to thank our sponsors that make this possible, like Marshal Protective Services, MPSprotects.com, 67 Design. All the mounts that were used in the helicopter are 67 Design, 67D.com. Z-Vision, the brightest landing and taxi lights out there. Clemens Insurance, clemensinsurance.net. And of course, Flying Eyes. You see me wearing my Flying Eyes on this ride. Go to flyingeyesoptics.com. Use our discount code TakingOff, all caps, one word, for 10% off. And Colton Mortgage, coltontakingoff.com. Thank you guys, and I'm going to be doing more in this series of me going for my rotor add-on, commercial rotor add-on. So make sure you watch the videos as we post them. Thanks, take care.